Welcome to the Read Your Keys podcast. I'm your host, Joe Lopez. Today we are doing another Read Your Keys college football edition with my friend Ricky Monte. As a reminder, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and go on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, hit follow, smash, squish, rub, whatever you got to do to follow the content. Mr. Ricky Monte, welcome back, brother.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm feeling good. Week 0 was a hero for me.
Well, week 0 was a 0 for college football.
Yeah, it is week 0 for a reason. Week 1, we have a lot of games to go through. We were kind of going through the schedule for this week, and there's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games with top 25 teams going at it. I mean, I remember, 10, 15 years ago, you would be lucky to have 1 or 2 top 25 teams playing, in 1 week. And right now you got seven of them
in week 1.
Right. Big time games. So we'll go ahead and get into those after. But first, let's go ahead and start with the top 25. So looking at it right now, where's my top 25? Looking at it right now, the top 25, there was no movement because there was no top 25 teams playing. So everything is the same as last week, as it should be. But we'll see a lot of shaking up, come Sunday after all these teams play.
Yep. Yo, you will.
We'll just go off of right here too. We'll start with, who did we want to start with? Let me see. Let's start with North Carolina versus Virginia Tech. What are your thoughts on North Carolina, Virginia Tech?
Well, North Carolina's got an incredible offense. I mean, they lit us up last year. I think they put like 40, 50 points on us last year. The quarterback's back. I think North Carolina's ranked 10th in the country. So they're a big competitor. Them and Miami are going to be battling it up in the Coastal Conference for the ACC. So North Carolina's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think they're going to just destroy Virginia Tech.
This is year 2 for Mike Brown, or year 3?
I remember.
But Justin Fuentes over there in Virginia Tech, right?
Yeah. But Virginia Tech, I mean, they win those like 17-9 score type of games, right? And they've always had good special teams.
But they're still trying to play. They're still trying to play Beamer ball.
They're mediocre. I mean, so there's no expectations with them. So Fuentes, what year is that for Fuentes?
It might be year 3, right? Because
3, yeah, I'm thinking 3. Yeah.
Was he at Temple? He got pulled out of Temple to go to Virginia Tech.
No, Memphis, wasn't it?
Can't remember anymore. No, because Mike Norvell's went from Memphis to Florida State.
Fuentes was in something like one of those type of schools. I don't think
one of those. Yeah. Who's the other one? Temple. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to recreate what Beamer did there.
Well, I mean, now it's kind of like Herman going from Houston and then going up a step in your program to Texas, and it didn't work out for him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what you kind of take for granted what Frank Beamer was able to do at Virginia Tech, that you think, hey, I could put the next hot coach in. College football has changed quite a bit from when Beamer was coaching, where you could get a special teams advantage. Because Fuentes, I think he's a defensive guy too, right? I just think these defensive-minded head coaches, if they don't get paired up with the right offensive coordinator, we can't win games that way anymore.
Yeah, but it's not like when's the last time Virginia Tech had a quarterback that was worth anything?
The only one I can think of is Tyrod Taylor. I can't think of how long ago that was.
And then between him and Vic, right? That was the gap.
There's quite a bit of a gap.
And now North Carolina's got the quarterback, and their quarterback is a Heisman candidate. So, and a first round draft pick candidate. So
he's that high, huh? Have you seen him play? I didn't watch.
Yeah, I seen him play.
That's true. That's true.
He's ACC.
That's true. Yeah, last year was kind of a hard year to kind of follow along. I was like, I don't even think they're worth watching. But this year, they
were worth watching last year.
They were worth. The only thing I ever did was, I would just check the scores, but I didn't get to see them play. So I liked Matt Brown at Texas. Obviously, he's back in North Carolina, and I didn't think he'd be able to get it rolling. Usually, you would say, hey, here's an old man who college football's passed him by, but the man knows how to recruit. And he's bringing them in. So I think it's fair to say that we both think that North Carolina is going to win. I mean, Virginia Tech was a traditional program, but I don't see that happening.
And in week one, anything's possible in the week one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a theme for my answer for a lot of these games. It's week one, so there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. And with that uncertainty, you have a chance for some huge upsets.
Yep.
All right, North Carolina, Virginia Tech. Next, I got Penn. No, let's go Indiana versus Iowa. Indiana versus Iowa. You got Kirk Ferentz is probably the longest tenured coach in college football now, right? It's at the same school anyway.
Yeah.
He's gotten 25 plus years now.
Yeah. Is Indiana's quarterback playing? Because he was hurt. Is he healthy, or do you know?
I don't know. I mean, Indiana was one of those programs where it's like that's just the basketball school, but they put up points now on people.
Well, last year because of their quarterback, and then he got hurt. So I don't know if he's healthy. If he's healthy, that might be a decent game. If he's not, Iowa's going to probably win at home.
Iowa's always kind of strange. They still play that same kind of tough style. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna be physical. I mean, they don't get the top athletes that Ohio State or even Michigan will get, but they just get the lunch pail guys,
the tight end and the lineman.
yeah. And then the tight ends, they turn into linemen, right?
Well, I don't know, but they get the tight end and the lineman. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Iowa, they're a physical team to watch. Like I tell you, I like watching BYU play, but I don't really like watching Iowa play. Like their style, it's like BYU to me is physical and tough, but they take chances. Whereas Iowa, they're physical and tough, but they don't take chances. So it's not as fun to watch. I guess that's kind of an easy way to sum it up.
Well,
but I had a hard time watching Iowa play.
The reason why you like watching BYU play is because you're a UCLA fan. No. Now, me being a Miami fan and a fan of the SEC, I'm not going to turn on BYU.
Well, the thing is, I'll watch BYU, but I also like watching Navy because I love watching the triple option. So Navy is nowhere near UCLA's schedule, but to me, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I like watching the SEC.
Okay.
I like watching BYU. I like watching Navy, and all those those American Conference teams. Those are fun teams to watch to me because
Cincinnati, Memphis, Houston.
Well, Memphis, yeah, Houston when Herman was there. I think a lot
Tulsa's in that conference.
I think a lot of the experimentation happens there, where coaches are trying to make get up to the next level. So they'll
SMU.
Yeah. So I think it's a good football conference. They're not gonna. They're not going to make it into the playoffs or anything, but it's fun. It's fun football to watch on a Saturday.
So let me ask you a question, and you got to answer it honestly.
Let's see.
Who's a better conference, more fun to watch? The AAC with SMU right? Lighten up the scoreboard.
Okay, I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Or the Pac-12.
I'm answering this honestly. Okay.
Okay.
I actually like the AAC more.
You know what? Thank you for being honest.
Because top to bottom, they're fun. Like you know, I don't want to watch Oregon State play. I don't like watching Arizona play. Like the teams that I do like watching in the Pac-12, obviously UCLA, because that's my my dog in my dog in the fight. Utah sometimes. Yeah, there's
only one for me in the Pac-12.
There's not really.
Back in the day, I liked Oregon. I liked watching Oregon. Other than that,
but this isn't the same Oregon either. This
is not
Mario Cristobal.
Yeah,
you know, bringing the SEC type mentality to it, which I'm fine with. But they don't have the SEC type players.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
So I like that American Conference. I really do. I'm a fan of how wide open the chances they take, just the different styles. That's really the big thing. It's just that they all play different styles, where the Pac-12, you know, Stanford has its style, but it's kind of changed. It's an in-between. Before, when Harbaugh in the early Shaw days, it was very much a very physical, but now
Stanford equals Iowa. Right.
Now, yeah. And that's kind of what they look at now. They're they want to spread it out, but they still don't spread it out enough. So
they have the talent.
Yeah. So Stanford's not fun to watch. When I was a big Stanford fan when Harbaugh was there in the early Shaw days, because it was like, yeah, you would have, you know, 5 big linemen, but then they'd bring in, you know, 2 extra linemen and then just thump you. That was a lot of fun to watch. So I'm really a fan of the different styles, which is why I like BYU, which is why I like Navy, because these are styles that you don't get.
I like Wazoo under Leach.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair. I like
watching them, not rooting. They weren't any good, but I like watching them.
That's
what entertaining.
That's the point I'm making with BYU and Navy. I like watching them. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's a fighter who's gonna, you know, go toe to toe or slug. It's like, you don't think he's gonna win. It's just, this is gonna be a good fight. I don't know what's gonna happen on any given Saturday. They might have a potential to put it all together, but most of the time they don't have the talent to keep up in the big games anyway.
Right.
So Indiana, Iowa. Next, what do we have? Penn State versus Wisconsin.
I don't know how good Penn State's going to be. They were terrible last year. I'd give it to Iowa at home.
No, Penn State versus Wisconsin.
I'm sorry, Wisconsin. I'll give it to Wisconsin at home. Wisconsin's always consistently competitive, right? You know, and their division is terrible. That's like the terrible side of the Big Ten. Penn State's got to battle Ohio State. They got to battle, only Ohio State, because Michigan's not that good. Michigan State's not that good. So Wisconsin, that's a cross division game, and they win that, they could run the table on their half of the division.
I like James Franklin, but he hasn't been the same. The OC left to take the Mississippi State job, and then they haven't been the same since. I mean, they lost, you know, since they lost like Saquon Barkley and Trace McSorley. It seems like they've been trying to replace that. They haven't been able to do it since he left. I think. Oh, you know what? Actually, Joe Moorhead, I think he's the offensive coordinator over at Oregon now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So that might pique my interest and get me to watch some more. Or even though I'm a Pac-12 guy, but it wasn't like, oh, Oregon's on, I wanna watch. But Penn.
Yeah, we got to see how good Penn State is. They had a down year last year.
Yeah,
I think they started off 0-3
last year.
Yeah,
I was so
upset done early.
I was so upset last year. I wasn't really keeping track.
Well, the Big Ten they were at a disadvantage because they weren't even sure they were going to play.
Yeah, them in the Pac-12, weenies.
Yeah, the alliance.
Yeah. we're gonna agree to not play.
Yeah, we're gonna agree
that's
to not
funny.
play.
I hate that you said that now. It's like, oh, this is what we're gonna have to go through.
I'm sorry.
And I think that I think the American Conference kept playing. That's part of one of the reasons why it's just like, hey man, just play.
Look at the demographics, man. I gotta say nothing else.
SEC, the SEC territory.
Yep, and the Midwest, the Heartland, baby.
Yeah, it's a football. Yeah, the Alliance. Oh my gosh. All right. Penn State, Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go whiskey on that one. Man, I like when Penn State is good though. It just makes college football better. When they get those whiteout games.
Yeah,
it's better. So,
well, hopefully they are good. So, because right now Ohio State is just gonna prance through their conference,
and that's sad to say because we talked about this. They got a new quarterback, so. You got a new quarterback.
Your boy, CJ Stroud, right?
I wouldn't say my boy. I was just rooting for him.
Rancho.
We know who my boy is.
Oh man, that's terrible. Keep going.
Penn State versus Wisconsin. All right. Here's a big doozy. Louisiana versus Texas. Louisiana is actually in the top 25. That's why we're talking about this.
You know what? They're in the top 25, but they're not a top 25 team.
Yeah.
Based on last year, when half the teams played, they got up with Coastal Carolina, Liberty, Mercy rankings.
Yeah.
So now they're ranked 25.
They'll get sorted out pretty quick.
Yeah, against Texas.
We talked about it. Texas. My hatred for SC aside, I want Sarkisian to do well.
So do I.
When Texas does well, I think that's good for college football. I mean, when it comes down to it, I want UCLA to win, but I want college football to have lots of great teams to play because I like watching great games, and so I'm hoping that things go well for Sarkisian. I mean, this should be a uniform game, right? It's like, hey, me and you could throw on the Longhorns, throw up the hook'ems, and win by 50 on this one.
Well, Texas is banking on Sarkisian doing good because they're leaving the Big 12 and going to the SEC. And that ain't no joke. You're going to be playing Bama, LSU, Texas A&M. You get your Texas A&M Texas rivalry back.
Yeah.
Right. You got some Georgias in there. And you're going to be playing Oklahoma. Every night in, night out, or week in, week out, you're going to be playing a top 25 team. So you better be good.
Yeah. I'm rooting for Texas in this one. So we've gone here. All right. The biggie. Clemson versus Georgia. Whee!
Where's it at?
That's a hell of a way to start off.
That's football. Brutal. Yeah. Where's the game at? Where's it being played?
This one is it says versus Georgia, but it didn't say where.
Is it a neutral site?
It might be a neutral site game. Yeah, it's in Charlotte.
That's a hard one to call, but you got to call it.
Well, let's kind of go through, right? So, Georgia. Well, yeah, let's start with Georgia. JT Daniels is the presumed starting quarterback. He got hurt last year, right? So he's coming back, and you're hoping he's healthy?
He's healthy. As far as I know, he's healthy. He's starting. He's a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, my gosh. That's a hell of a way to start the season.
Yeah, he got off to a bad start, and he poured it on, like, really towards the end of the second half of the season last year. And he was looking really good. Really good. Georgia's a good team.
Yeah, they're deserved of the ranking.
Yeah, it's the dogs, man. I mean, they're gonna have a good defense.
We're gonna have a good defense. Yeah, the thing that is mine is we talked about Kirby Smart and just the points. Are they going to be able to put up the points like the real big dogs are? Well,
that's where JT Daniels comes in. Georgia's always had running games. They've always had at least one receiver. Right.
I think their top receiver got hurt. He's out for the year.
That's troubling.
Um,
But they're still going to be very competitive.
let me see what's his name.
He's out for the year?
I think so.
Well,
I don't have it right here, but I remember seeing that one of their top receivers was out.
all right.
I think it's the year.
They're still going to be good. Even with their top receiver out, they're still the fifth. They're still ranked number 5 in the country, if that's true. So Georgia's going to be tough. I mean, they're going to be a very difficult game for Clemson. Now, Clemson, I mean, even the quarterback, they're not going to miss a beat.
Mm-mm.
They're not going to miss a beat in this game.
And the silver lining for last year was DJ got reps in big games.
He got 400 yards against Notre Dame.
Yeah, so he's battle tested as can be going into a big game. So this won't be new. He's got the advantage now of knowing since last year that he was the heir apparent.
Yeah, I like
being in control.
I'll tell you this. I like Clemson winning this game, but I think this is a much bigger game for Georgia because Clemson can win this game and still run the table.
Well, the thing is, if Clemson loses,
they'll still run the table.
They'll still run the table, but
they'll be in a one-loss Clemson team.
You think so?
Yes. Who would?
Well, who? I mean, what is okay? Say they did lose. Who on their schedule is left that would get them back in? Miami
in the ACC championship game. That's 2 losses. You're right. They're done.
I meant to say North Carolina. North Carolina would be the only other team that would.
I don't think that they don't play North Carolina's on the other side.
They're on the other side.
Yeah,
well, they'd have to pay them then if they're on the same side, right?
North Carolina's on the other side of Clemson.
But if they make it to the ACC championship game, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That would be the only.
Clemson, right? So Clemson loses in a tough matchup against Georgia, who continues to win. Right? Well, they're going to look at that 3 versus 5, and 5-1.
Yeah, I disagree because if Georgia loses, they still have their SEC schedule to be able to make that up. And
if Georgia loses, they got to run the table on an SEC schedule,
right? But
they're not going to.
But what I'm saying is, if Clemson loses their schedule, I don't know if it'd be good enough for them to get back in the conversation.
Over what? Even think about this. Oklahoma plays nobody.
So they have to win all their games.
Yes.
Right.
Now, in the Pac-12, even if they go undefeated, a 1-loss Clemson team will be taking over them.
What I'm saying, though, is there's enough teams in the SEC, plus Oklahoma, plus Ohio State, that Clemson's margin, this is, I think, a bigger game.
Clemson was a 1-loss Clemson team last year, and they made it.
Just they lose to, though. Well,
Notre Dame.
I think Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence was out.
They lost, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They lost. They lost to Notre Dame in overtime or double overtime or something like that. And they still went. And they still went in with the same type of schedule.
Yeah. But if Trevor Lawrence was in that game, I think that's a different story. They don't go in.
But they didn't rank them based on whether Trevor Lawrence played or not. They rated them based on
that plays a factor.
Didn't play a factor.
Your best guy is out in the big game, and you put up a good fight with your backup quarterback. That plays a factor.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I know I'm right.
Yeah. Well, when a team is undefeated and you got the loss and they have a tough strength of schedule, let's see how that plays out for you.
Yeah. This is going to be a great game, though. Clemson, Georgia. I can't believe that this is a way to start off with, on top of the other games, man. Neutral site games, I'm a fan of them. I guess it's it's still, I don't know. That actually seems like an actual neutral site game. There was like a neutral site game, but in Dallas with Arizona State, and I think it was like A&M. It's like, that's not a neutral site game.
Well, it's neutral to Arizona State, and it's just the same state as A&M. Austin and Dallas aren't,
All right, so great game. Looking forward to it. I'll be rooting for DJ. I actually spoke to DJ's dad last week, so that podcast will be coming out this Friday. So I think it kind of times out perfectly.
Nice.
Big Dave.
I know he's excited.
Oh yeah, he's all about his boys and Clemson. So yeah, that'll be fun. So I'll be rooting for Clemson.
I'm a root for Georgia though, because I'm an SEC guy, but I think Clemson can get them.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic start to the freaking season, man. Gosh. All right. Miami.
Poor Bama. Poor Bama.
Roll Tide roll. Okay, I'm gonna give you my objective football opinion. This is what Miami has going. If Miami plays their best game, this is what
you can't say that. You can't be objective and laughing at the same time, by the
way. I'm doing my best. All right. I'm doing my best. All right. See, you have what you have working. Miami has working for it. Is it's the first game of the season?
Mm-hmm.
A new quarterback,
mm-hmm.
a new offensive coordinator, and then new guys that, for the most part, receiver, running back. Did they lose offensive linemen? And I'm sure they did.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they lost 11 guys to the NFL. Most of them on defense, by the way. But go on.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the if you were gonna catch him, this is the only time. Like week 2, 10 out of 10 times you're losing. Week 1, maybe 9 out of 10, because this is like the one shot where it's like, hey, it's all new. Did Miami lose anybody on their coaching staff? I don't think so, right? Everybody on their staff is back.
We got some people. Yeah, we gained.
Oh, you got a new offensive coordinator?
No. Oh, heck no. Lashley's great. Now we got a good a DB coach, and then Diaz is actually going to be the defensive coordinator.
So there's that's what I'm saying. There's continuity in the
yes,
coaching staff where the kids aren't learning a new system, which a lot of the criticism for last year was, hey, if you had a new coach coming in during last year, it was harder for them to get together and meet, and
they couldn't practice.
Yeah, they couldn't practice. So
that's not the case here.
So it's not the case this year.
No.
So I think those are the best things. And I will say this: you have an athlete at quarterback, which gives you a chance. It's not like you have a pocket passer there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that those are the best. Those are the, if I'm giving you your best chances of winning, those are the factors.
So would you take Miami plus 17.5, or would you take Bama and give the points?
What do you mean? I don't understand. I'm whatever pick is for Bama. If it's
how much does it win by? 17 points is spread, 17.5.
I would take Bama and 17, yeah, for sure.
And 7? No, not and 17, minus 17.
Whatever, they're gonna win by 17 is what you're saying. At least.
Well, that's what Vegas is saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I would take that. I would take it.
Okay.
Why you wouldn't?
What?
You wouldn't? Or is it not fair for you to take off your Miami fandom and actually?
You know what? I'm gonna be very objective. Okay.
I want to hear this.
So here's my thing about Miami. They get blown out in the big games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Bama in week 1 is vulnerable for the very reason that you gave them.
Mm-hmm.
Miami's got some veterans. That Derek King, he knows the offense. We picked up a good receiver to go along with Harley. Our biggest thing with the receiver, they dropped passes last year, right? We can't make those kind of mistakes. Offensive line has always been a problem for us, but unfortunately, Derek King, if he's 100% healthy, can get you yardage with his legs, right? And stretch the defense. So you're going to probably have to keep a guy on him and make him beat you through the air. And then nobody has come out and taken the running back position. So it looks like it's going to be a 3-headed monster, at least at first.
Yeah, that's not as big a deal as the offensive line. And my other concern,
no, it's not.
My other concern is that you lost 2 guys up front to the league.
Mm-hmm. On the defensive line, we did, yeah.
Jalen Phillips was a first rounder. The other guy, was he a first rounder too? Oof.
Yep.
Yeah. What were the practice reports as far as being able to replace those guys? Are there?
Well, the practice reports are always going to be optimistic.
Super, yeah.
They're doing great. They're doing good. All right, we'll find out. Right? You can't go by the practice report.
But from what you've seen, were the guys that got reps last year, or are we talking about new guys coming in?
We had a guy. I think one's a transfer
from where?
I want to say Virginia Tech.
Okay.
And then another guy got some reps last year. I think one of them's a freshman also. So that's all.
I don't like that. No.
Yeah, but I don't know how many reps he's going to get. I don't even know how many reps our boy James Williams is going to get, the freshman 5-star.
He's got to find a way to get that kid on.
He'll get on the field. He's not starting.
He's too tremendous in that. Like I can't imagine.
So they can put him up, and Bryce Young's athletic, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
That's why it's like, hey, you got De'Aaron King, but the Bama defense. I mean, your number one defense doesn't normally go against the number one offense, but they can see that stuff in practice. You know, there's a similar type, because I was trying to think who in the SEC has got De'Aaron King's speed and athleticism, and I don't, going through, just really quick in my head, I can't think of anybody who's that type of, besides Bryce Young, which they get, they get to see that. I don't know who the 2s and 3s are behind him if they present a similar look to Bryce Young. But De'Aaron King, if you're Bama, you've seen that, so it's not new. Like when Johnny Manziel came on the scene, like there was, and that
gave Bama problems. The De'Aaron King type of quarterback gives Alabama problems.
Right. That's why I mentioned him as a key to the game and his health. Right. So he did have surgery last year or early this year. So you hope that knee is good, and that he has the acceleration, because there is a ramp up period to, hey, you're being cleared, but having the confidence to be able to play all out. Man, Bama's, and that's nothing to sniff at.
It's going to be two things. Number one, don't turn the ball over and give Bama easy shot. And number two, break out the turnover chain, baby. Got to have the turnover chain against Bama. I need turnovers. Take advantage of the youth and inexperience on the offensive side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is the week to do it.
Again, I'll say I want my joking of Miami aside, Miami being good is good for college football. I just don't think Miami Diaz is that guy, man.
And I got some Miami friends that feel the same way, and he hasn't proven it, and that's why he's taking over the defensive coordinator to bring that defense up to speed. So you're going to find out week one if he's a guy or not, and what kind of team Miami has. So you can't get blown out.
I'm actually interested to see what your boy Rhett Lashley, if he's able to take over, what that program will look like. I honestly think that we've kind of seen what the Diaz program is going to look like. Rhett Lashley at SMU puts up a lot of points, offensive minded. Man, I think that might be a great fit, or just to kind of take a test drive, right? 3-4 games in, it's like, hey, we've seen this Diaz tape already. Let's see what another guy can do, and let him take over, because that's kind of what happened at Clemson with Dabo, right? He, like, mid season, coach got fired, hired Dabo, and, let him take over. You kind of see how that works, because, man, Miami's it's been a while, man.
It has, and I wish we were playing somebody else week one, kind of like last year.
but then we said the same thing, though. If you play Bama any other time of the year,
there's a time to do it.
So this is the time to do it. You've had, sometimes, as a player or whatever, you've got that week one game as a target to kind of motivate you and get you through practices and everything. Like, if you can't get excited about working for Bama, because if not, you'll get embarrassed, man. And
I'm excited, and I'll
Miami boys they're pride. That's they're football proud down there. those Miami boys down there, they're football proud. So
nobody thinks we're going to win. I'm going to the game. And I asked my sister, you want to come with us? She said, no, I'm not going to watch that slaughter.
Yeah,
I said,
she knows.
I know. I was like, what? We're not going to beat Bama that bad. And she says, good Lord, you poor boy. But I get to go home. But after the game, go to her house and we're watching Clemson, Georgia. So
yeah. Watch some good football.
2 good games. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So best of luck to Miami, man. You need all of it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of slaughters and best of luck, what's the next game you want to bring up?
LSU versus UCLA.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
All right, go ahead.
I saw portions. It was very difficult watching paint dry, but I saw portions of the UCLA Hawaii game. And even though they beat Hawaii by 40, they were not impressive at all, right? You just played nothing. I mean, you played nothing and your quarterback looked terrible, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you think he has a high ceiling and a very low floor, right? UCLA is not a good team this year again. Now, with that said, I don't know how good LSU is this year. So here they are coming across the country. They've been inconvenienced with Hurricane Ida, right?
That's true.
Yeah, so that could play a factor.
Because they're training in Houston right now, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And so that's an inconvenience. I think I'm not sure. Is their first string quarterback playing or not?
No, I don't.
Okay, so
he's out.
Yeah, so he's out this week. So you got the backup quarterback that's in there, even though the backup quarterback did play and was serviceable last year when he did play. So you got those factors coming in. The thing is, UCLA just isn't good. But again, I don't know how good LSU is. So if LSU is the same LSU as last year, even that LSU could beat UCLA. But if LSU is the same LSU that won the national championship, which I don't think they're that LSU, but they could be a couple steps above last year's LSU. You guys don't have a prayer.
Yeah, I all those things you said about LSU, I think will have working in our favor. The difference for me is watching, because I watched obviously the whole Hawaii game. They were trying to throw it, so there was accuracy issues from the quarterback, but there was also some drop passes. And then when they went to the run game, they just dominated on the run. Like I've never seen them. So I have seen the Chip Kelly tenure go from they would be physically outmatched by teams, whichever team they were playing, they looked like they would be physically outmatched, and they were, but they were still able to run the ball successfully. Last week was the first time where they looked like the physically superior team. That's the first time I've seen that. Just watching them, you're like, oh, these guys look like the top dogs just on the hoof, and they just ran the ball down their throats at will.
Joe, you're supposed to be physically superior to Hawaii.
They weren't. That's what I'm telling you. As 3-4 years ago, they weren't. They got pushed around by San Diego State.
Well, San Diego State pushed around the Pac-12. The Pac-12 had a 9-game losing streak to San Diego State.
Well, they were getting pushed around by everybody. Is the point that I was trying to make. And the Hawaii game would have been a tough game, and this one was, yes, it would have for UCLA. It would have been a tough game. They haven't beat anybody by 40 points before.
Man, Hawaii's terrible. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but the thing is that they weren't physically superior to those teams 3-4 years ago. Now the offensive line is matured, the defensive line is matured, all the players in the program have matured. But part of it too is they have like something like 6 or 7 what do they call super seniors? They're calling them super seniors this year.
Yeah, the 6-year seniors,
6-year guys. So they have that working in their favor. But the run game looked awesome. The defense looks super athletic. We had a transfer from Alabama linebacker.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, he was laying dudes out, man. So the linebackers, the speed at linebacker is much faster. So I mentioned last week that Bo Calvert had moved from a inside linebacker position to more of a he's not a hand on the ground, but he's a on the line of scrimmage in a 2-point stance guy. That paid a lot of dividends. And we have Mitchell Goody on the edge, who's kind of our edge rusher. So the front is fast now. So LSU usually has physical offensive line. This will be a test. So the quarterback issues aside, I think this is a SEC offensive line. Whether the coordinators are good or bad, that's going to be
Orgeron knows you.
He's been out for a while though, right? So this is year 4 for him at LSU.
Somebody knows that he knows UCLA. Those are rival. But when this year Miami plays Central Connecticut State, and when I come on and tell you how great we looked against Central Connecticut State and dominated, you're gonna let me do what you're doing right now, right?
Because Hawaii won a bowl game against Houston last year.
Oh man. Okay.
And Central Connecticut State. Hawaii, I'm pretty sure Hawaii didn't get a paycheck for playing UCLA, whereas Central Connecticut State will get a paycheck for paying Miami. There's your difference, buddy. Yes or no?
It's the same. Hawaii's
it's not
terrible.
The same. I'm not saying Hawaii is a powerhouse. But it's not Central Connecticut State.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Hawaii.
Barely.
The difference.
They'll go into overtime.
The difference is Hawaii did not get a paycheck for playing UCLA, whereas Central Connecticut State will. That's really what tells you. Follow the money, as they say.
No, follow the money. Okay. All right.
So LSU's got athletes galore on the offense. The defensive line is usually where the SEC is superior to everybody else's. They get dudes up front that get those Sunday checks. So
who's gonna win the game?
Well,
whoa! That's like, are you alive? Yes.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that I think UCLA is gonna win the game because that's my dog in the fight. So I'm always just like you say that. But
I was being objective.
Yeah, I can't be objective. I honestly think that we can win the game. That's what I'll say.
Notice the pause. You know what that pause is?
What?
Not just me. That's the world pausing at what you just said right now.
What was that?
The whole world is pausing right now. Again, this is like Joe Biden telling us everything's good in Kabul right now.
You can't use that. You said that last week. It was good last week.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
The same.
How is it the same thing?
You just said
Orgeron there's I think actually LSU has more things working against them right now because even say that you're going to impress with what UCLA played, like it's still a week 0 game when they have stuff to work on. And
let's do this. Let's do this. Let's make a lunch bet. Next time we see each other, the other one's playing lunch. And here's the bet.
What's the bet?
Let's see who stays closer, Miami or UCLA.
Oh, I'll take that. Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, I'll take that.
Because when we win, that means you got to win the game.
By more.
Yeah, by more. All right.
I haven't looked at the line. I usually don't look at the Vegas lines.
Yeah, I don't know. I think LSU might be favored by 16. I don't remember. I didn't look at that line. I just knew the Miami line was being texted to me for the last 7 weeks. So, people telling me I'm not winning. Why are you going to the game? Don't waste your time.
I mean, because it'll be pretty bad that you spend the money to go for a plane ticket to go to the game, and then you spend the money for a ticket, and then you're gonna have to owe me lunch also. I mean, that's just three. I mean, that's I might just buy lunch for you just because I feel bad. Like, you know what?
So obviously,
You had
that.
to pay for a plane ticket. You had to sit in the stands and witness a brutal beating of your team. Like, just the tears flowing. I mean,
You'll be getting pictures. You'll be getting pictures.
bloodshot eyes.
You'll be getting pictures.
Yeah, I think you know, I'm high on UCLA. Like I said, if anything, I think it'll be a competitive game. But we haven't seen anything like LSU. Well, that we did the last time we played a team of that caliber in name was Oklahoma 2 years ago, and it was bad. But but this isn't. I think that was Kyler Murray. So this is not Kyler Murray we're playing.
No, it's not.
And this is an LSU team with much more question marks than answers. But they got dudes, man. That's the thing. Is Orgeron can recruit. You can't take that away from him. He's a football guy through and through. I like Coach Orgeron. I think I might have said this already. I'm a fan of him and what he does for college football. They're 2 years removed from the Natty, but man, last year looked nothing like. And I didn't watch any LSU last year because once the wheels came off, it was one of those teams where I wasn't going to bother to watch. So I'm not sure if they ended up better than they started, but also changing coordinators tells you that what they had wasn't working. So they're going to have some things to figure out. And UCLA had a chance to work on some things already. They got lots of guys, lots of reps, second string guys, whereas LSU's, that, you know, it's gonna be brand new for them, on top of having logistics of having to practice out of Houston as opposed to at home.
Okay. Can't wait for next week.
Well, after Saturday, you're gonna. Are you sure? Are you sure? All right, man. So sounds like you're picking LSU for sure. I mean, you're an SEC guy, so that's your dog.
Oh my God. Anyway. Well, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, if I thought, I mean, I'm taking Clemson over Georgia, and I'm an SEC guy. I'm a root for Georgia, though. So obviously, I know how to be objective.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
All right, man. Anything else you got? I think that's it.
Nah, it's good. We have some great football coming up. I'm looking forward to week 1 college football. Love college football. Love the games coming up. And
when are you taking off? Tomorrow morning?
Wednesday morning.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday morning.
I'm tired of leaving.
I thought I was too. They changed my flight got changed. So I'm taking off Wednesday morning, and I come back on Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. You can be off.
Yeah, Labor Day's Monday, so I'm just staying there. And
okay. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. All right. I think this is good, man. With lots of games to look forward to. This is the Read Your Keys podcast, the college football edition with my friend Ricky. Love talking football with him. Go ahead and like, subscribe, YouTube. Ricky, where can they find you on your socials? Do you care?
No, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram under Armonte, but I don't use it that much. I more or less use my socials for getting information.
Boring. All right, man.
I may have to go the millennial route now.
Yeah. All right. This is the Read Your Keys podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good one.
All right.